Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a little bit more, well, it's not depressing, it's known, but I also want to make sure that I get this type of news out for everybody. I will have a little bit of, one extra bit of information or news, I would say, for you guys coming out today as well. Yes, it will 100% be coming out today. I already have it backlogged, so I will be giving this out to you. So stay tuned for that. As for this one here, we have a little bit of a kind of a disappointing thing, but I also want to let you guys know so that way you kind of know what's expecting, what's going to come and loom, so we can all prepare. So, without further ado, farmers warn of food shortages, higher prices on the horizon. Farmers and ranchers across the country are struggling with spiking production costs from diesel fuel to fertilizer. Everything they need to produce crops is much more expensive, and farmers are warning that food shortages and even higher prices are on the horizon. Especially with California with its drought and where our governor is specifically making it harder to get water to the farmers. So, with that being said, there's going to be a lot of other problems coming to fruition here. Right now, we are in a crisis in America as it relates to farmers. John Boyd Jr. of the National Black Farmers Association told Sean Hannity on Fox News, "We are facing an all-time high in diesel fuel." Yeah. So, again, I have a brother that does trucking, and I do know that the diesel is very high. As I shown here, I will go around my actual place at some point and try to show everybody exactly how expensive all the gas prices are in technically California, because this here kind of shows exactly on how expensive the gas prices are here in CA, and how we can technically kind of stop this from happening, or well, not really stop this from happening, but kind of show you the kind of the reality to where the gas stations are for all these prices. Now, I will say that it will, this will eventually probably get better after Biden's out of office, but we have to suffer a little bit before we can get there. Americans are feeling the pinch of gas prices and the rising cost of essential goods like food and other necessities. Inflation is at a 40-year high, and farming is one industry that's being hit especially hard. The higher cost of farming will further impact the food supply over the next few months and even years, since crops take time to plant, grow, and harvest. Fuel and fertilizer are costing farmers more money. The national average for diesel fuel is $5.81 a gallon, but a year ago that was only $3.23. This means a farmer is now up to $870 to fill a tractor with 150 gallons gas tank, much more than last year's price of $484. Now, this is what what people need to realize as well. A lot of far left people will probably think that food won't have a food shortage. There won't be like an issue with certain things. Like, what they don't seem to realize is, especially people, I see people with that are even on the right, to where they think that their corporate jobs or their jobs that are doing these other crazy online multiple things, what they don't seem to realize, and they think they have a superiority over them, is that they think that the people that do the farming, the people that do the plumbing, electricity, that that keeps our society moving and functioning, they think that they're beneath them. Well, listen here. Even the truckers are. They think that the excuse me. Even they even think the truckers are beneath them. And let me put this in the way that you guys need to understand. I'm going to put this... God damn it. Sorry. I'm going to make this very painfully clear for all of you. Your jobs mean nothing. Okay? Your jobs mean nothing. Alright? Now, the people that might be doing these type of things, which will be the medical ones, yeah, maybe your jobs might mean something, okay, for medical. But anything that is high-tech and corporate or whatever have you means fucking nothing. You know why? Because you don't keep the actual country or the world moving around. Why? How do you think you get that money? Or how do you think you get that food in the store? Well, guess what? The farmers have to grow this with their own dime and their own money, so they can have money to plant this, get actual tractors and stuff to actually plant this and make sure it grows, so you can have food on the table. And how do you think that actually gets to you? By the way, do you think it gets to you by just automatically appearing there, or do you think it gets to you by trucks driving many hours away from their one destination to their current destination, so they can give products and other stuff to you, so that way you can purchase and consume those said products? If anything, these people should be flipped. All right, it should be flipped, because the people that are running this country and are making sure everybody is alive and functioning should be getting the hundreds of thousands of dollars, because they're technically what's making everybody live. Not the people that are sitting on their asses, such as like myself, should not be getting paid at a huge amount of money, because we do not make the world run. It is the truckers, it is the farmers, it is electricians, God forbid, it's even the freaking plumbers, so they can help you keep your actual plumbing working correctly. It is these people that keep your world running. Without them, your job would cease to exist. Hey, how are you going to keep that computer running, and how are you going to keep that amazing job going on if the electricians decide, oh, hey, we're just gonna whenever there's an outage or whatever, we're just gonna sit back, relax, and let you guys handle it. Oh, well, what happened there? Your so-called job just got bamboozled. It just got destroyed. Because the electrician that was supposed to be, making the electricity flow and making your comfortable life comfortable is no longer doing it. So so this is one big thing I would say to you people. Shut the hell up, and you're not that important. What I'm doing, it's not that important compared to what they do, because what they do is actually keeping this country running. I understand the importance of my farmers and my truckers and all that stuff, because without them, we would not be running. So, pay their people that are actually helping you function and live some actual due credits, and try to step over them like acting like you're this high and mighty god because you have this big tech job. Sorry, that's not how that is. I have more respect for the farmers and stuff than these people that run these tech jobs. Sorry, your $120,000+ job is not nearly as important as people trying to make the actual world move and making sure you have food on your table. Sorry, just not reality. Adding to the high costs or supply chain problems, Russia is the largest importer of fertilizer, and many of the natural resources needed to make the product come from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. So the conflict in that region has increased costs and made supplies more challenging to come by. And that's not only just the only. I understand what they're doing here. That these are also contributing factors, but even if the war was due to those three things, yes, it would not help, but it's not the main causing driver. I hate it even that the Daily Wire does this. It's not the main cause of the factor here. Yes, granted, add them in because they are a cause, but they're not the main cause, okay? The main cause would be because of what Biden is specifically doing that's causing these issues. An April report from Barron's noted that the cost of certain fertilizer ingredients have almost doubled since last year. Some farmers are concerned that cost of inputs could rise as much as 40% this year and another 20% or higher on to 2023. The AG Economy Barometer of Purdue University Semi Group shows how farmers feel about the agricultural economy. The survey showed that 44% of farmers are most worried about the high production costs. Shelby Myers, an economist with the American Farm Bureau Federation, said it's important to remember that the cost to distribute and deliver the goods also affect the final price that gets passed on to consumers in the supermarket. A recent survey in the UK showed that 80% of food suppliers ask retailers for at least one price and increase in the past year, but oftentimes they don't get a response quickly or they're told no. This might sound good for consumers in the short term, but it could negatively impact farms across the country going forward, especially if it causes farms to produce less food or go out of business. One local farmer recently told the Daily Wire that consumers could see smaller produce or on their grocery store shelves because of lack of fertilizer. He said farmers could face a situation where without enough fertilizer, their fruit doesn't grow to market size. Many are saying these prices aren't going away anytime soon. And looking at the status of farms in the U.S., it's poised to get worse. And I could understand why. So what we have here is specifically, why is there, did I not click on this? What have I done? What have I done today? Oh my. Well, there is a report, which is here, that will kind of show us, that surging fertilizer costs. Surging fertilizer costs are pushing food prices higher. Fertilizer costs have roughly doubled from a year ago as the war in Ukraine disrupted the flow of supplies from Russia, the world's largest exporter of the commodity. That has contributed to higher global prices for food, especially corn. Corn is the most fertilizer-intensive crop and is likely to be most impacted by rising input costs driven by the spiking fertilizer prices, says Jeremy Thurm, senior credit research analyst at Egan Asset Management. Fertilizer and is an output cost for most all crops, so those will be. Okay, so obviously here, fertilizer costs are on the rise. This is another thing why I would also say as well is I understand how important trade can be, but this also shows that how us not being independent is a huge issue. So we need to become more independent as a country, so that this type of things happen. Especially, I would say, big number one thing that will probably be a provider for us would be fuel. That's the number one thing, because this is technically causing all the issues to begin with. And then 2, maybe get some fertilizer, because we're seeing some actual issues with not being able to provide enough fertilizer for us. And then 3, really up the amount of, really have us manufacture some actual computer parts here, because we get 90% or majority of it from China, and we need to be able to subtract that and add it to our own companies and to our manufacturing companies and have this function. This would be a great start, because this will allow us to get all these companies to start manufacturing all this stuff. Would be a great start. Granted, it might be rough, but we need to start doing this so that way we're not so heavily dependent. Being independent is great, and it helps to be able to function as a society. Not becoming independent and we rely on a lot of people, there's some stuff. Also, there's also medication as well that's a lot from China as well. So we need to fix these problems. We're seeing these problems arise, so once we see these problems, we need to address it and fix it. So that's what we have. So guys, this is a little bit of a report trying to see exactly what's going on in our country, what's being risen here. Food prices are likely going to go up. Obviously, fuel prices are going up. That's probably going to keep on going up. So hopefully this lets you know to prepare and prepare for the worst. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.